Hi, Bruchim Aboim, welcome everyone. I know usually Wednesdays when we learn the Rebbe Elimelech, I made a separate video, but I want to say of the first part of this Torah, these are two Torahs that are connected from the Rebbe Elimelech, but it's something that is actually, I'm dealing with in my personal life right now, maybe other people dealing with, and this was something I learned over Shabbos. I read this on Shabbos, right? That's what people like to put on Twitter.com. Because X is still Twitter.com. So it's not formally known as Twitter, it's Twitter.com. Anyway, but most of us use the app, whatever it is. Anyway, this is something I'm dealing with, and it's Musar that I'm trying to take to heart, and I think maybe if I share it with other people, Bezus Hashem Yisborach, I should be able to be Matzliach, because it's a very difficult burden that I'm dealing with, and so I ask people should daven for me also. But let's see what we're dealing with. And the interesting thing is that in the Rebbe Elimelech, in the Noam Elimelech, actually, there are two different psukim that are quoted here. So, which is not how it's presented here on Sfaria. So if you look inside the Rebbe Elimelech, it's not clear. The different words are either in parentheses or in brackets, similar to how you sometimes see in the Gemara when there's different girsos. So here it's because there's two different psukim that could be, that are similar psukim, they're saying similar things but are different, but actually Sof Kol Sof are saying the same thing. So first we'll say it over like it says here, Le'sirach hamar achicha roivitz tachas masoi. It says you shouldn't see your brother's donkey struggling under his burden. However, there's another pasuk that says Le'sirach hamar son echa, or kis sirach hamar son echa. That here first it says you should not see your brother's donkey struggling under his burden. You should help him. But there's another pasuk that says if you see your enemy's donkey struggling under his burden, you should help him. And so in the printed copies of the Rebbe Elimelech, we have both of these psukim presented. So let's learn what the Heilige Rebbe Elimelech says. The ha'adam ha'oisik be'inyanei be'iskei l'mazeh. The person who's busy in concepts and problems and issues in this world, has to work for a living, dealing with all kinds of things, whether it's politics or business or whatever it is. The world is like, to him, like a big burden, and he's struggling under the burden. That could be on many different levels. I remember my wife, Zol Gesundsein, people know she's a Gioris, very choshev Gioris, popular speaker for ladies groups, and much better speaker than I am. And she said before she was Megayer, she went in to see our Rebbe, Kalav Rebbe Shlita, Shev Rufu Shleim Moreno, Moshe Berezel, even though I haven't seen him probably in a few years now. But I know that's the Tzaddik Yisod Olam, that's the Tzaddik Ador, it's Kalav Rebbe. And my wife said when she wasn't Jewish yet, she walked into the Rebbe, he asked her, why aren't you keeping Shabbos? Before she said anything, and she said, well, I'm not Jewish yet. He said, oh, okay. She didn't ask her, do you keep Shabbos? He said, why aren't you keeping Shabbos? You see, the tzaddik is Ruach HaKodesh, but at the time my wife wrote like a poem about that experience. I don't know if she remembers about this or whatever, but she's like, Zadie, you have the weight of the whole world on your shoulders. Like, she saw this, that the tzaddik had the weight of the whole world on his shoulders. So it's not only people like us who go to work and have to struggle with that, but the big tzaddikim are also struggling with Inyanei Olam Hazeh. and it's a big burden on them too. V'amar akasav lo tuchol l'salim. And so the scripture tells us you cannot hide yourself. Or if that's when we're talking about when the pasuk that says your brother, the verse that says your enemy says azav tazav imo, you should surely help him. Either way, it's the same idea. And I think it shows that our enemy is our brother and our brother is our enemy, but really it's our brother. We have to help him. We can't abandon that. And it says Azhar l'tzadik sheyispalel lov. So this is a warning, this is a teaching to the saint, the tzaddik, that he has to daven, he has to pray for the other person who's struggling under Inyanei Olam Hazeh. The Kalahav, and this is easy to understand. You know, I remember in yeshiva they told us the good things in other religions they took from us, right? I won't say they stole it from us because we still have it. But you know, there are those who say you have to pray for your enemies. And they make it sound like we don't believe like that. But it's not true, we do believe like that. But not only that, but they're not our enemies, they're our friends. We have to love them. You have to love your enemies, they're not our enemies. They're not even our enemies. And so right now, I know there are people who have issues with me, and that I follow maybe a different psak halacha than they do. It's something that I've been dealing with for a long time. I'll go to a certain dai in a certain posik and get a psak. People don't like because it's not politically correct. It's not what's normative perhaps, but it's halacha. Whatever it is, and that's not really the issue. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the people giving musar. Adarabba, if a certain rabbi in Florida who has Kanai Nahara, 50,000 subscribers, the Grace Zach, I wish him well, because he's doing good work, even if I might not like his style, and other people don't like his style. All right, I'm more American, he's more Israeli, so I'll talk about George Washington, and he'll talk about Ben Gurion. I don't know. I don't like Ben Gurion. I like George Washington because I'm American. But Ben Gurion was a kofer. I don't have to love him, but I have to love this Yid who's a Shomer Torah mitzvahs. Who, all right, he's giving me musar. I appreciate it. He's helping me to look into myself and make sure that I'm not going the wrong way. It's a gewaldige zach. But not only that, but I have to daven for him. I have to daven for his hatzlacha. I have to daven that he should be matzliach and good things, doing the right things. And, you know, people ask, you know, like there's a certain younger man who I'm upset about, and I give him musar. I still daven for him, and they say, well, you know, you have to, he's a bad guy. And I said, well, I talked to him, he's my friend. And they said, well, what kind of friend is that? He's not a good friend. And I said, well, Sof, I have to, he's a Yid, I have to love him. Not only that was a Ger Tzedek, so it's a double mitzvah. And even though he made a lot of tzuras for a lot of people, he means well. And I wish only good things for everybody. The same thing in our community. We have a big problem. There are people doing things that are keneged halacha. They're making a minyan without reshus from the Maral Astro. It's a big aveira. Sof kol sof, I'm davening for them. I want them to be matzliach. I want good things for them. I don't want anything bad for anybody. And I think, you know, sof kol sof, that's going to make things better. That's our nesayin right now. It's the real nesayin of Ahavas Yisrael. And not only that, but I'll just tell you something though. There's another nesayin there, and it's gaiva. Because, you know, I look at myself, this one younger man in Florida, this Israeli guy, the rabbi. The other was also a rabbi. He just got smicha. So the fine choshev and galait, choshev rabbanim, Quinchton nor gitfer. But I look at this and I'm like, all right, he's not the Rebbe Baruch Meshmitzer, and I'm not Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Berditchever. Baruch Hashem, I got my ancestors got brachas from it. My Heilige Baba, the Chenger Rebbetzin, and my Heilige Baba, the Kruler Rebbetzin, they got brachas from the Heilige Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Soros Hashem Berditchev, and that bracha is still with us all the way down through all the Duras, 250 years later, whatever it is. As long as we're makabel it, we have to be cognizant. We have to be makabel it. Now the whole world is gebetched that there was such a tzaddik in the world like Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Soros Hashem Berditchev. But Sof he had a lot of isnagdus, right? Both from Misnagdim and from Hasidim, from Rebbes, from the Tzaddikim also, from both. Also Tzaddikim and Misnagdim, also Tzaddikim. Amich Kulam Tzaddikim. When it says Asar L'Tzadik L'Spalalav, but Amich Kulam Tzaddikim, we all have to daven for people who are struggling under the burden, and whether it's your brother, it's your enemy, it's also your brother. And we have to daven for everybody. A lot of times we have to daven people should do tshuva. But when Heilige Berditchev Rav when he was being thrown out of Pinsk, he was davening for the people who threw him out. I remember when I lost my Steller in Richmond, my Rav, here Rabbi Fishbane, he said, "You're in good company with the Berditchever. You got thrown out of a Steller, you're in good company." And I have to daven for those folks, for the good people there in that kehillah, in that town, where I would have stayed there forever if they would have kept me there. I loved, even though it was difficult, I loved it. I loved the Rabbanis. It's something I really enjoy. Even though maybe I'm not so good at it, and maybe I'm better at what I'm doing now as a chaplain. I'd like to do both. After L'Kaim Shneim, But the thing is, my Heilige Zayda, the Chavas Yor, he struggled in Rabbanis. He had the same types of things. That's Bedavka why I picked Koblenz. That I picked that name, not only that nobody else has it, and also it sounds very nice. It sounds, even though it's from Germany, it sounds like somewhere in Galicia, like Koritz or Koznitz or something, it has a good sound to it, But Sof Kol Sof, the kesher that I have there, not only with my Zayda, biologically, the Heilige Chavas Yor, but also my own life, that I was the Rav Darton in Richmond. It didn't work out. And then Chavas Yor, for a long time, he didn't have any Steller until the Seif Yamav, he got the Steller, and he was just another younger man sitting and learning. And he was the Gadol Ador, and everyone was sitting and learning. Everyone was sending him shilas and everything. So of course, and I'm nothing like Chavas Yor, but he's my Zayda, and I love him very much. And I don't understand the shilas and shuvas Chavas Yor so well, but I love to learn the Makor Chaim very much, and his Hagos on Hagei Vermiza, and to sing the Zmiras and say the Techinas and the Bakashas that he printed in the back of the Chavas Yor and the others for him. It was Gevein a flam fire. He was a Chassidish Rebbe before the Chassidim. He was a very big neshama, the Chavas Yor, and he was a character. He was, and so this Ingerman, this Israeli guy, this rabbi in Florida, calls me a character. The Zayda the Chavas Yor is auch gewein a character, but and his character, but in a good way. His character comes out. You learn his farm. You feel like you know this person, and it's just so warm and wonderful that I have a kesher to such a big Zayda like the Chavas Yor, who I love so much. Even we're talking about from 400 years ago. Sof Kol Sof, and that's my nesoyin. It's not to get arrogant that just because I'm being prosecuted and persecuted, and that I have machloikas that means something big, because Sof Kol Sof, this in German in Florida, this rabbi in Florida, he also talks against the chief rabbi of England, and the Friediger chief rabbi of England, who's a big tzaddik, and he talks against my Rebbe, Rabbi Weinberger, who was my Maggid Shir in high school, and other big Choshver Rabbanim, Rabbi Goldberg and others. And this guy, he talks against these people. And if I'm on the list of the people that he hates, it could give me a lot of gaiva. I must be the same like the chief rabbi of England, or Rabbi Weinberger, my Rebbe. Even though I don't talk to him so much, because he's very busy, I don't want to bother him. But I know he davens for me, and we daven for him too. Rabbeinu Chaim Moshe ben Perel. He should be gesund and happy, have a lot of nachas from his children and his einiklach and his kehila and everything. We have to all daven for each other. As we learned this week, the koyach of tefillah comes from the Or Ein Sof. The koyach of tefillah, the power of prayer, comes already predestined from the beginning of time. And so what we're doing is we're tapping into something that's already there. It's not us. We're not doing anything. We're tapping into that tremendous power that all the tzaddikim tapped into also. So again, it's nothing. We're nothing special, but Sof Kol Sof, we're still. You all are very special. I don't know what's going on here. You guys can just go ahead. I don't want to, but anyway. But I'm nothing special, that is. But Winstone, a Birkas Hedyot to everybody, that we should learn this lesson. When somebody is giving us problems, we gotta daven for them. And then if that's the case, that's the thing. Sometimes that's all we focus on. But then Kal V'chomer, we have to daven for our friends and our family, for our spouses, our children, our parents, our siblings, everybody. We have to daven for everybody. And those who are Noam Elimelech, from our mishpacha, we have to daven for them also. Daven for everyone. And our rebbeim, our friends, our teachers. But of course, we also have to daven for the people who give us service, because they're really doing us a big service. And certainly this rabbi in Florida who's giving me musar, it's an important thing he's doing, because he's helping me to stay on the straight and narrow path, even if I'm not following everything he's saying. But I'm looking and making sure, chazering over, talking with my rebbeim, making sure that I'm not doing the wrong thing. And one my chavrusa was a big Rosh Yeshiva. He said, don't worry what he says, but it's. I think that's the lesson that I have to take out of this. And the same thing when we're davening for Yener, for Darbener, Chil ben Sarah should do tshuva. We really have to daven for him. A Goyis and Neshama who fell into the Imkei Klippus. It's really Germanic and the guy, the Gans Shas and Zer and everything, and fall into such a disgusting affair Zara that's really, really evil, and no one should read his things or anything, because it's just such, or learn about those things, because it's mamish evil, unless you have a tachlis of Islamid and to fight against it. First of all, Baruch Hashem, it's so crazy, no one's going to be gechapt in it. And also, like we said, he's not a missionary. He's not trying to chap anybody. Leider Aroline is gefallen into the klippus. It's a very modnazach. It's just like Acher. But again, like Rebbe Meir, and I'm not Rebbe Meir, but it was saying to Rebbe Meir, Acher Chazer Bach, Daf Chivatin. And the thing is, Acher said to Rebbe Meir, Chazer Bach, because he got to the Tchum Shabbos and you can't go any further. And Acher cared about Rebbe Meir. And so the lesson we learn from even the Fordarbener, the OTDs and everything is we also have to do tshuva. I was just all helping that Taka we should all do tshuva, and we should see only good things. And we should be able to learn and daven, and our learning should bring us closer. I remember I mentioned the Kalavar Rebbe, Rabbeinu Moishman Reisel Shefu Shlema. I remember the first time I went into the Rebbe, and all the boys, he said, learn 5 block Gemara, 7 block Gemara. There was one boy, not in my yeshiva, but another yeshiva, he told me, Leider as a Vek, a Shovavim German, he was nifter, and his Rebbe gave him smicha on his deathbed. Very Shovavim German. I remember his Levaya, that he told me he had a shtick one year that he would, when they were in yeshiva, and he asked, what page are we on? Instead of what daf are we on, what blot are we on, what page are we on? That was his shtick that year. And he said that he went into Kalavar Rebbe, and Kalavar Rebbe came to the yeshiva, and Kalavar Rebbe told this Yigaman, Shmuli, he said, Seichet Tzarek L'Brocha, Shmuli Alman, Seichet Tzarek L'Brocha, he said, learn 7 pages. And Shmuli asked all the other boys, did the Rebbe say to you pages? No, he said daf, he said blot. Only him, he said pages. Cute story. Anyway, so I don't know why I said that over, but we have to work on Avos Yisrael. We have to work on loving each other. Part of Avos Yisrael is giving Musar. And so again, I appreciate what this rabbi in Florida is doing, giving Musar. He's doing a big mitzvah, and he should keep doing his thing. I'm not, but maybe in a different way. I don't know. If it was me, I would do it different. That's the best I can say. But I'm American, he's Israeli. They have a different sviva there, The Pittsburgher Rebbe, Zeichet Tzarek L'Brocha, he said, the Rambam says, Adam nimshach achar sviva. The person is drawn after his environment. So he said that so why is it like a Polish and a Galicianer should fight? So it says because they're right next to each other. Now it's all Poland, right? And they said because the sviva, the atmosphere where one is, the environment draws one in, and so it's not the infighting, it's their environments that they're fighting. So all right. So he's nimshach to the klipa that's, even though he talks against it, Baruch Hashem, which he should, he's nimshach to that klipa. And I'm nimshach to George Washington. I know myself, and this one of those things that he's probably going to think is weird and say, oh, this Kolakowski clown. Well, let him say it. Adarabba. Makes me right. I'm on the same list with Rabbi Weinberger and Rabbi Sachs, whatever, So he said. So I'll tell you the truth. So I not far from here in Newburgh. I'm near Monroe now, Goshen, I guess, or Chester right now. Driving not far from here is Newburgh, maybe 15 minutes from here, 20 minutes from here. And I remember I went to see Washington's office that he had in Newburgh. And people ask me, well, what's the big deal? So you could see my office. And I was very mispo. It's like going to by tzaddik. Because there's an Indian, especially, and if the other Ingaman, the Fordarbener, sees this, I know where he's involved, he's very into Carl Jung. They talk about archetypes. He's an archetype, Washington. He's a Jungian archetype. Someone pointed out that I guess that in Germany, Jung is not such a big deal. How does that make you feel? Someone asked that. I don't care. I'm an American, I remember I once had an interview on the phone to be chief rabbi of Munich, Germany, and they explained to me how in Germany the Rabbonim are all government employees, and that was very strange to me because I'm an American. The same thing. I can't be soivel like the Rabbanut, like just so foreign to me because I'm an American, and I'm a government employee. But sof kol sof, that's but not congregationally. The chaplaincy is a different thing. So, what can I say? The Baruch Shalom should help us to learn to daven, to love one another, and when we say to learn and to daven, so that's what I was talking about the Kalvar Rebbe, Shlita, for Shlema. All the boys he gave a number, and it's a tikkun. And to me, he said, just keep learning. Every block of Mara you learn, you'll go higher and higher. I remember this. I was 14 years old, 15 years old, and I'm almost 40 now. And I don't know if I'm going to get to Ben Arbaim Levina. We'll see. Like this, it said, what did it say? There was someone, he said, but he got to Ben Shishim Lezikno, and he's worried, and he asked his Rebbe about it, and he said, well, you got to have Ben Arbaim, you didn't have Bina, so why are you worried that by Ben Shishim you have Zikna? Or Ben Shivin Zikno? I don't remember. See, I don't even know a Mishnah that I've said a million times. I don't even know it. This, I'm so Baruch Hashem because I learn it. I think I learn it, and this is how we got to learn. We have to learn in a devotional manner, because if we're too intellectual in our learning, we can verna fordarbener. But if we learn as a devotion to the Baruch Shalom, as a mitzvah, and we don't care although Yedias HaTorah is a mitzvah, but we learn in a simple way because we're not on such a high madrega, we're not going to be asking too many questions. We got to learn like Rabbi Nachman taught. This whole Erev Shabbos was Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman was calling out to me the whole Erev Shabbos, and talk about that later. But anyway, sof kol sof, and that's what we need right now to make this Mashiach. We need Rabbi Nachman. Now it's Shovavim. We have to work on these inyanim, because these are the inyanim of the tzaddik, which is tzaddik yesod olam. So it's a nice horror to the tzaddik that you have to daven for other people. And the Roivitz Tachas Masay of Olam Hazeh, and we also have to daven. We all should, and you need something. Who tzarech lo yisadavar? I certainly need lo yisadavar. Because I'm a big Russia, and I'll say it again. I know he's going to make fun of me. You're going to say, "Oh, my other friends should say the same thing." You have to say it too. I don't like to speak Ivris, but so is this. If maybe there's a locho osler and gamata tzarech lilmod mizeh in germanchikol avreich. But sof kol sof. That's a big thing we could do, right? If you need something, call mispalo bad chaver v'hu tzarech lo yisadavar hana tchila. I know Baruch Hashem is a gewaldige thing. There's the GYE and Vaimoy and other big choshev places. They're doing things to learn about Shmir Sinayim and Shmir Sabris and things. We have to daven for all those people who are working on it during Yemei Shovavim, we daven for them, then we could be matzliach also. Bezos Hashem, we should be matzliach. All of us, all zusammen. We in Shmiras Abris, Shmiras Anayim, I don't like to talk about those things usually. I think if we, at this juncture, one thing I remember already from high school, that Rabbi Weimager taught us that because Yesod comes before Malchus, that the Tikkun Yesod has to come before Mashiach comes. And so we just fixed Yosef and Tzaddik, we just finished Vayechi, and now we're going into Shmos. And like Rabbi Bartzadok said, we're going from Genesis to Exodus. There's a Sedua Tosh of the Welt. Maybe we don't feel it, but something changed now that we're learning Sefer Shmos. And now that we're in the Mei Shovavim time. And as was Hashem Yisborach, this is getting to be a Shovavim Torah. It's already a half hour long. So, and it's not Shalashidus even. And I didn't make a big Shalashidus this week. I finished. I made Havdalah only a half hour after Rabbeinu Tam, because we had things to do. We had places to go, people to see. But that's the story. So thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. We should be zoiche. Yukabsenu yachad me'arba kanfei sa'aretz chayil bala v'kinam v'itnu yeshenu el. We should be able to hold strong in Torah and Yerushalayim, and be able to be voiler chayidin, and not fall into any of the traps of the Yetzer Hara, whether it's kfira, whether it's schmutz or anything else, and just look at the positive things. If you watch Vaimoyin today, Rabbi Bender, right? Rabbi Bender from the big yeshiva Darche. He said the world's so beautiful. He wakes up in the morning and he sees, even if it's cold outside, he appreciates what the Baruch Shalom gave us to see. Taka. We should be zeicha to good things. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment. Have a good day, and let's hope this is the beginning of Shovavim Tat. We should be matzliach. It's very difficult, but we can do it. We can do it. We can make it. From Yesod to Malchus, Mashiach shall schon kommen. We know Rosh Chodesh, this year is going to be a solar eclipse. Naka Hashemesh, Siman, the Chovavim, right? We could be matzliach, we could win, and we could overcome all the Avodah and Taka Didon Netzach. Didon Netzach should be good. We're gonna win. We're gonna make it through this. All right. God bless you. Love you. Be well. Thank you.